Well, 10 on a Sunday morning, and I've just pulled this brisket, £9, 4.5 kilo, out of the fridge, and I'm just going to show you that you don't need to stress about it so much perhaps, and I'll just show you what I do and how quickly it can be done. Right, so I've got a big green egg open, vents wide open, bit of oak there from our mates at the Urban Lumberjack, and our Fireboy. Cranking. It's going away nicely in the middle there. Just leave that wide open for 5 minutes or so and let it get going. We'll put our deflector plate back in, wait for that smoke to clear, and then we'll be almost ready to put our brisket in once it comes up to temp. Right, so it's been 5 minutes or so. We're just going to put our deflector plate back in and let it build some heat. Right, so there it is on the bench. This is not a super expensive brisket by any stretch. It's one I got from AFCO. I'm just going to remove some of this hard visceral fat and give it a bit of a shape up, but it's got not too bad marbling through it. Not super thick, but so we'll inject it just to make sure it keeps the moisture in there. But I'll trim it up and then I'll show you what we've done. So I had a bit of a trim, taken some of that visceral fat. I haven't got super aggressive because we want to maintain some of that moisture into there. There's a little bit of hard fat through here between the point and the flat, but it's it'll be all good. So I've taken a little bit off here, and I've just trimmed this end piece off, the funny little tag, so just to give it a nice bit of shape. And then we're going to beef injection. So I'm using Badass Barbecue beef injection. I've mixed it up as per the directions on the pack, and we're just going to go ahead and inject all over just to try and keep some of that moisture in there. Okay, so I've got our injector here. All I'm going to do is just work that in. You'll feel it's swelling up, just moving it around, trying to get it. About 300 mils here, which should be ample for a brisket this size. Can be a bit messy, but you don't squirt it everywhere and annoy the missus. Just working our way around the whole brisket. You can see a bit of it leaking on the board, which is all good. More we can get through everywhere. Just going in and then pulling back a little bit, changing the angle, just trying to ensure that we're getting as much coverage through everywhere. You see it rippling up under the surface there. Make sure you come down right down the flat too. If it's struggling to go in places, it may be like a pocket of hard fat or something that you've hit. Just change your angle a little bit. And you can see it actually squirting back out like that. Some of the original holes, which is all good. Know you've got plenty in there. Work your way over the whole thing. Oh. Safe to say that's fairly well sorted. Okay, so all I've done is just wipe my board down to get rid of a bit of the excess injection, and then a lot of guys use a binder. I'm not going to bother because it's got plenty there for it to stick to. We're going to start with a liberal coating of the Four Monkeys home base. So just going to make sure that we've got a good coating over the whole brisket. Use my hand as a bit of a barrier on the edges. Just make sure that we get a good coat over everything. A bit of a cap, and you'll see from the injection it's all going to stick there quite nicely. I'm going to flip it over, do the same on the bottom. thin coat. All the stuff we're using today we get from Ken at Barbecue Boy. Alright, now over the top, low and slow basics. It's the new one. It's spicy steak shooter. I'm just going to put a bit of a light dust of that over the top. I don't mind a bit of heat, but some of the other people in the household aren't too happy with it, so we just put a light coat, just to give it a good bark and a bit of zing. And then we'll put it over again. A beautiful orange colour. I've tried this one on a scotchy already on some steak, and it's pretty bloody good. Be happy with the flavour profiles of it. Got a bit of zing, but not too hot. And give some nice colour to that brisket. Alright, let that sit until our queue comes up to the temp, and then should be going in. But that white smoke's cleared, we're in blue. I'm pretty happy for the pit to sit anywhere from 275 to 400 really. So get our brisket in there. Sit in there quite nicely. Get the lid shut. I'm going to shut our vents down to where I know it'll sit at about that temp. And then I'm just going to keep an eye on the temp, but I'll come back and check it in an hour. And for reference, 5 to 11. Right, we're an hour in. We'll have a bit of a look, give it a bit of a spritz. I'm just using a mixture of apple juice and apple cider vinegar. Obviously moisture is, we don't want it to dry out, and the smoke sticks to moisture. Don't have to do it, but I prefer to. 2 hours in, sitting on about 320. Look pretty good. Dark's pretty well set. I'm going to ride for another hour or so and then have a check. We're going 3 hours. Well, wind's got up a little, so it's dragged our temperature up, but we're sitting on 350. I'm pretty happy there still, so we'll crack her open and have a look. It's starting to look pretty good to me. Solid bark on there, so do yourself a favour, get yourself a good set of tongs. These ones from the tongs, awesome. Pick that up, no problem whatsoever. Into our foil. I'm going to wrap it up, throw a probe in it, and we'll put it back in. Wrapped up in a tight little parcel. Got a probe in there into the point end. Sitting on 350 quite happily. 156 internal, so we'll have a look when it hits about 200. Right, 3:15, so 4.25 hours, 203 internal, she's done. So we're going to take her out. Set that into the chili bin for a rest. So chili bin, old towel, just drop her in there, wrap it up. So it's 5:45, so we had 2.5 hour rest in the chili bin. I've just dragged it out and it's still at 181 degrees. So we'll disconnect that, crank it open and have a look. Probe over there. Looks pretty good to me. Not knowing the truth. Nice smoke ring. Beautiful. Right. Nice thin slice. Completely falling apart. Do the old bean test. Beautiful, nothing wrong with that.